in making a decision to be with someone, it's the second most important decision that you make, who you're going to be with in life, who you're going to walk the path of life with. So what's the first decision? What path you walk.
Oh.
So first, what path are you walking on this earth as a human? What are you connected to? And then you find a partner to walk that path with.
That's cool. You're
And
not the opposite.
Not the opposite. A lot of us think the partner is the path.
Oh, man, you're dropping some good.
And that is not
the
it.
partner is not the path. That's good. All right, folks, this is one book launch you cannot miss. Everybody knows somebody who's in the market. And listen, we're going to be a little bit edgy today, but they're in the market for dating. And I'll tell you what, I have Vince Hudson here, the author of Date Like a Brand. How you doing?
Carrie, doing absolutely fantastic. This is launch day. It's been a long time coming. I mean, we met. It's almost a year ago that we got introduced, man.
I love it. I love it. Was it our friend John Gigante?
It was our friend John, mutual friend, that said, you got to meet this guy, Carrie.
Yeah.
He said, you're the same person. I don't know if maybe it was the low haircut.
I love it. I love it.
But, and when we met, it was true. I mean, you were talking about purpose. And you were also talking about 16 streams of income on the other side. And I was in a unique window in my life, taking a bit of a break from corporate America to get this kind of lifelong bucket list item launched.
I love it. I love everything about this book. Here's why. It's funny, but I also teach at the university. And Vince, I'll tell you what I do a lot of times. In the middle of my talk, because I'm teaching about marketing, okay, and entrepreneurship, and I'm not even joking. My students can vouch for this. I'll say, okay, guys, listen, I'm going to give a dating tip right now. Okay, and then I like go into this little, I go into this little break where I'm like, here's how this is like dating. And now I have the book from the man. So talk to us why this is not wild. This is like a real thing. Why do you feel like you're a brand today and therefore you need to date like a brand?
Well, it's interesting you brought up that story because that was one of the reasons that I got into this thing. So there's a book called Love Marks by Kevin Roberts, and it's all about how you can leverage love in your marketing, like you were talking to your students about.
Yeah.
And so, and I got a chance to meet him once, and I said, well, maybe you can leverage marketing in your love. You just turn it around, right?
Ooh.
And so that was the whole purpose behind it. And so I see some people that are joining into this stream now.
Yeah.
People that I talked to 25 years ago, they were marketers at Procter & Gamble where we worked, and we just started talking about dating and who they were dating and relationships. And I would give guy advice, but I would do it through the lens of marketing because they could relate to it. And the feedback was, wow, Vince, that thing about, awareness and trial and concept score, it actually is working. And so based on the feedback, I just doubled down and kept going. And so this whole kind of parallel between marketing and brand just seems to fit because brands want awareness, trial, and loyalty forever. And that's the same things that humans wants.
This is so good. Talk to us. Is this under the AI coach and quizzes? Because I remember way back when we started talking about this book. Oh, remember this? I totally remember this. You said there were these categories of like looks, health, money, and something. Explain that.
You have a good memory. So it's what brands have what's called a value proposition. When I started in marketing, we used to call it a concept. You put that concept on the market on one sheet of paper and consumers can vote on it. The value prop, same thing. And so I said, well, what if we're brands, what are the things that make up our brand? So I studied philosophy, religion, psychology.
Yeah.
It really came down to 4 things. And it's called the dating value proposition. And that has never been kind of captured before. So it's a very unique thing about the book. But it's 4 things, like you said, it's mind, body, soul, and resources.
Ooh.
And that's it. So I argue people, there's not a 5th that's more important than one of those 5 that you'd replace it. And if you take one of these away, it will be incomplete. And so I'm ready for anyone in the comments to try to debate me on that. I've debated it for 20 years. It's
mind, body, soul, and resource.
Exactly. And it's in the shape of a compass. So resources are kind of new. So when I talk to people about this, I say Well, it's the same thing you would ask a person on a blind date. If they said they were going to hook you up with someone, what would you say? Oh, well, how do they look? How are they? So, what do they do? Resources, right? And so these same four things come out. And so it's these tensions of soul is at the top because of the source, resources at the bottom is what you own, mind to the left, and then body to the right. And so there's this quaternity, I call it.
I love that. But then you also say, and we're going to get into the table of contents in a moment here, but then you also say, I think that in your coaching or consulting or something, you give people some coins or chips, and then you tell
You
that story
did you
because
did
that was
rela
interesting.
you did react to that part the first time I told you. So I really built that out based on your feedback that I was talking about the book and you were just like, Vince, no, go back to that chips thing. Like that's your thing. So it's in the book. And basically what I've done with mind, body, and soul and resources is that every brand has to have a quantitative way of understanding their strengths and opportunities. And I think it's the same with humans. And it's just we don't have a calibrated scale, and everyone's looking at looks like that's the only thing or resources. So if you look on Instagram, people are posting, showing off their resources or showing off looks, but you can't swipe for soul, but soul is important. And so
Oh,
you got to add soul to the equation. Mind, you have to add mind to the equation. So
yeah.
I have a bell curve on mind, body, soul, and resources that actually lets you do a self-assessment of where you are on all four. And the purpose
Wow.
of it is one, yeah, it's a bit of a reality check, but really it's where do you want to grow and become the best version of yourself? Do you need to focus on improving your mind more, your body more, your resources, your soul? And you need to be a well-rounded brand. And so these four things let you know what to focus on to be the best version of yourself.
Folks, you got to look at this. Can you, by the way, can you see my table of contents?
I can see it.
Folks, look at that. This is literally the book. Assessing the mind, assessing the body, assessing the resources, assessing the soul. And what you're saying is that in your training that you do, and by the way, I want to learn, like, can people hire you to speak, coach, train, consult? We got to get into that here in a moment. But you're saying that you tell people you can't, what is the amount of chips that you have? Because everyone,
So
yeah.
So if you look at a scale of 1 to 10, if you're average on all four, which is average, on average, most people are average. So we got to get past this average is bad thing, right? So, but if you're a 5 on mind, body, soul, resources, you get 20 chips, right?
20
Four
chips.
things, and you got four things, 5 chips apiece. And so that's what most people in the country have is 20 chips because on average, we're all average. But figure out what is that one thing that you're above average on. That becomes your point of difference, your point of distinction. That's what might attract people on the market who are solving for that attribute, right? If someone's solving for mind, you need to lead with mind, right? And so this gives you kind of a playing field, but it also
So
helps you
good.
make tough choices, right? If you only have 20 chips, if you have to double down on what you want in a mate and you want a little bit more body or a little bit more resources, well, if you add 2 chips, you got to take 2 chips away.
That's right.
And people hate the exercise because no one wants to make choices. Everyone wants everything.
This is it, folks. This is where I saw the tension was in our initial chat, because you're right. Most people are like, I want a 10, a 10, a 10, a 10. But
40
here's yet,
chips.
yeah, yeah. So they want 40. But here's what a mentor of mine said a long time ago. This was Darren Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
He used to be the editor of Success Magazine. So he did this. He said, I wanted to find the perfect wife. So I wrote out 40 pages of who this woman would be. So you can find this online. He literally wrote out 40 pages. And then he said, you know what? I said, I'm never going to be able to attract that type of woman until I write out 40 pages of who I need to be.
Yes, you just hit the key, Carrie, because when people inevitably ask me during the exercise, when they have 20 chips and they're forced to make decisions, and it's always the most attractive person in the room, they say, hey, this is not, I need more chips. And so my answer is that you do get more chips. If you go through the self-assessment and you get more than 20 chips, you get to add those chips to the
No
person that you're going to
way.
mate, right? So now it's a way to make it fair and equal.
Whoa.
And my wife and I did this exercise, and we're pretty balanced on
Yeah.
chips in completely different areas. But when we got when we got married, we were.
So you're telling me that if you read the book and you say, I'm going to level up my brand, meaning like you're going to work on yourself, you're going to actually develop your mind, you're going to actually develop your resources, you're going to develop your body, the looks. If you take that seriously, then you're saying you get more chips too.
Exactly. Because it's just like a brand. The brand has to become the best version of itself to earn the best consumers on the market. If the brand's stagnant,
Wow.
it's not going to earn incremental consumers. And the while this is the interesting part, Carrie, I really have to stress in the book that it's very exciting to find that ideal mate, and that's part one. But the second, you have to be right about that. So you have to be right twice in dating, which makes it so hard. You got to be right about the partner brand that you want to match up
Yeah.
with, but you also have to be right about the person who wants to be in a high quality relationship with you.
What does that mean? Tell me more.
Meaning, solving for the person with the right mind, body, soul resources is one thing, but the second step is step one is building your brand. Step one is finding your partner brand. Step three is building the high quality relationship, which is based on passion, decision, and friendship. Sternberg called it the triangle of love, the triangular love theory.
Okay.
And I call it PDF for easy, like the Adobe file.
Oh, I like PDF. Yeah.
And that is what we need to solve for longevity. Even if we have this person that has the right mind, body, soul resource mix, it's not any gain if we can't get into a high quality relationship together.
Where's
And
a
that is
PDF thing?
so
Where's that?
PDF is down in it's solving for assessing the relationship. So it's probably back up.
Is it back up?
No, it's back up. Yep. So the stages go back up. I'm glad I 20 chips. Go down. Oh no, up. So the PDF. So the passion, decision, and friendship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's a quantitative. Again, everything has to be quantitative in brand management and marketing. So just like you can assess yourself in mind, body, soul resources, the book and the upcoming app also lets you assess your relationship. Sit down with your partner. Where are we on the passion part of the triangle? Where are we on the decision part, meaning we are deciding to be together and committed to that relationship? And where are we on friendship, right? Are we, sharing that, those stories together? Are we the common experiences? Are we continuing to build our friendship out? We have to work on all three. Every relationship started because of either passion, decision, or friendship.
Mm.
And every relationship, if it doesn't last, will die because of the lack of sufficiency on one of those. It's the cheat code for relationships.
I like that. What does decision mean? Just meaning like to choose that.
Two things is you are the person that I choose to be with for the rest of my life. Some cultures start
Right.
with decision in arranged marriages. You would make a good addition to our family. You're the kind of person I envision being with long term. So that's decision. I've decided that you would make a good choice, right? But decision by itself is not enough. You still have to have some passion and the friendship, or it's just an arranged marriage. And that in our culture, passion is really big. But if we just have passion, we have a passion partner, call it. But without decision, it's not really having an end state, right? And without friendship, it's rather intimacy. So we get into these situationships, and I've defined situationships as if you just have passion, it's called a passion ship.
Situationships. Oh, that's good. That's IP right there, man.
That's the situationship, and that's already like out there in culture. But the IP, which I worked through you, was if you only have passion, it's a passion ship. If you only have decision, it's a decision ship. And those ships won't get you to shore.
Oh,
You have to have all three to getting a real relationship and get out of that situationship that you're stuck in.
oh my. Okay. So I'm liking this. Okay. Here's a question. You got this great website, by the way. You got about the author, you got about the book, you got all this fantastic stuff. My question is, you mentioned soul, just because I'm a faith guy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that does your book talk about shared faith at all, or do you bring up faith at all or anything?
Yeah, so it comes up. It's a through line throughout the book. I'm a man of faith as well, and we talked that the first time that we kind of
Yeah.
hit it off as well. The first time it comes up actually is one of the reasons I'm writing the book is that I grew up in a household that was full of faith, and it was full of it had a strong relationship as a role model.
Oh,
So when I grew up, that's all I knew. And so that was my definition of love. And so when I got into the real world, I was like, wow, everybody doesn't think like I do about what a relationship is. And that really got me studying relationships a lot more.
Mm,
So, but I got my source connection from my parents' connection with the source. They kind of passed it down to me, but then
yeah.
you have to grow into your own connection with what I call source, right? So that's a part of the book. Then in making a decision to be with someone, it's the second most important decision that you make, who you're going to be with in life, who you're going to walk the path of life with. So what's the first decision? What path you walk.
Oh,
So first, what path are you walking on this earth as a human? What are you connected to? And then you find a partner to walk that path with.
that's cool. You're
And
not
a
the
lot of us
opposite.
don't. Not the opposite. A lot of us think the partner is the path,
Oh man, you're dropping some good.
and that is
Oh,
not
the
it.
partner is not the path. That's good.
Yes. You
Yeah.
walk the
Okay.
path together. And sometimes you need a partner walking that path because the path gets challenging, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why you need someone to kind of carry that load when the load gets too heavy for you, and you can
Mm.
kind of shift the weight a bit and be each other's partner. And that's why brands get together and partner
Oh.
in kind of co-branded experiences. So I switched halfway through the book, which gave us a lot of headaches with your editing team, because the book was about, at first, I'm a marketer, right? So it was about brands finding consumers and capturing consumers and capturing market share. But then it was something that was just eating at me about am I telling people to go out and catch people like fish and
Mm.
capture and own? And it finally hit me. It's not about your brand capturing, people and consumers, because consuming is not the right word anyway.
Sure.
It's your brand finding a partner brand,
I
and
like
then you're
this.
going to launch a relationship.
I like this. By the way, you're blowing up on LinkedIn here, man. I don't know what's going on. We all we see is this little viewer here over on one channel. We can't even see all the LinkedIn
Wow, I
people
can't see
except for
all
the
this.
comments. But I got to show you this here, man. You're reminding me of Nike and Tiffany's. Okay.
Brand partnership.
Yeah, yeah. This is
Oh,
exact
you
like you.
pull that up fast. You're good, man.
Oh man, I try. So you literally were just saying partner brand, and you're a marketer. I'm a marketer. I like this. Why did Tiffany say, "Oh, it makes sense to partner"? Look at this, a unique union. They're even using your words. A unique union between two legendary American brands. And I think when I searched for this, it said a legendary pair. So
Oh, that's
isn't
great
that
play on
cool?
words. Great play on
Isn't that
words.
good?
Carrie, you're
So,
late, man. You should have given me this a while back. I would have put it in the book. This is a great example.
well,
But
now
this is
now you just
exactly
have
what I'm it's
now you have
exactly what I mean.
podcast material.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we got podcast material with this. It's
So
exactly what I mean though, because
yeah.
if you think about those two brands, you don't have to have the same, you're not looking for the same mind, body, soul, resource combination.
Mm,
You're looking for a complementary one.
yeah.
Right. So while Tiffany has this high-end appeal,
Yes.
Nike has this related ruggedness and athleticism and purpose-driven spirit. You put both together, what a powerful combination. So that
Oh,
is what you need to look for in a mate. What is that combined force where 1 + 1 = 3?
that's so good, man. And I'm gonna geek out on this for a second because I see the world with intellectual property, but you're gonna break this down into relationships. So let's just say that Tiffany brings to the table, they bring to the relationship the color. It's literally protected intellectual property. They bring
Yeah,
Tiffany blue
Tiffany
to
blue.
the table. It's literally true.
Hmm.
So they've protected that IP. Nike's bringing the swoosh, the just do it. So in relationships, you're each bringing your own IP together and creating a third IP. What do you
Carrie, you
think?
you you got there. You got there fast. So what we have to be careful not to do is that each brand has its own purpose, right?
Oh,
So and so my purpose is to show love winning. I
mm,
articulated that purpose about 20 years ago in a note I was writing to our former CEO of Procter & Gamble, was John Pepper. And I said, he was asking me about purpose. I said, you know what, let me think about that. And it's to show love winning, because I saw so many people leading and marketing through fear. I said, what
oh
if I lead
yeah,
through love? What if I led through love and not fear? If I could show that, I can get more people to lead through love and follow me in that direction. And so that's kind of my purpose. But if I'm with another brand, my partner brand, they're going to have a different purpose. And I have to let them stick with their equity, their Tiffany blue,
Yeah.
right? And let them grow as I grow my purpose. But together we're launching a relationship that has its own identity and its own
See,
strengths.
that's good. That's good, because what you're saying is that when Tiffany and Nike came together, they didn't just disappear into each other.
Yes.
Like, oh, we don't even have an identity anymore, which is kind of like some relationships. You're saying, no, Tiffany brings strength, Nike
Yes.
brings strength, and now they have this third line.
Exactly. The Nike swoosh that is
Yeah.
in the Tiffany blue is the perfect example, right? Nike's still
Oh
visible,
my God.
Tiffany's still visible, right? So they nailed it there, right? And you have to become the best versions of yourselves, but you're still individuals, but you're partnering. And it actually gives you something to focus on. You have to focus on always be growing the mind, body, soul resources doesn't stop when you find someone. It now you can really grow it because you have a person there to help you. When the weight becomes too heavy on the bench, you got a spotter there that can help you get that extra weight up.
Yes.
And that's what the role of partner is. Sometimes you're going to spot, sometimes you're going to reverse, and the other person becomes a spotter. And then together every year you step back and do a brand assessment. What did
Oh,
I grow with my brand this year? Did I grow mind, body, soul, resources? I tell my daughters this now. How am I helping my daughters, which we call line extensions? How am I
yeah.
helping them to grow their mind, body, soul, and resources? Am I preparing them? Do I have the context and environment right for them to grow their mind, body, soul, resources? And so that keeps going through life. But then also every year you do a relationship assessment. Just like in brands, we have to do an annual review every single year. What
Yes.
went well, what worked, what didn't. And so my wife and I need to sit down, and it's going to be always items on both sides of the ledger, right?
Yeah.
And so you just have to have that conversation. Where are we on passion, decision, friendship? Where are we on growing our mind, body, soul resources? It gives you a template to like look against and assess.
This is so good. There might be a hater out there, okay? Because certain haters out there might say, "What? You've reduced love, into marketing." But here's the thing, man. I get heat all the time. I see the world through marketing because to me, marketing's not bad. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a former
Well, of
pastor.
course, I agree.
Oh my gosh. I'm a former pastor, and I'm like, I get into some heat because I'm like, you know what? God is the best marketer. Look at, he put a star above the stable. He put angel, you know what I'm saying? Like, I see the world through
Yeah.
marketing. And I think what you're saying is that marketing is just drawing attention to.
Mm-hmm.
What would you define
Well,
marketing as?
one, I got to just go back when you're talking about getting ready for the heat. I got a good friend that told me, he said, Vince, you're used to being in the corporate doors. When you get out here in outside, like we are now, you got to be ready for that heat. He said, and
Yeah.
so and you're ready for the heat when you're grounded in your purpose. When you're grounded in your purpose, heat doesn't, you don't fear heat because your purpose is so hot it's going to out,
Oh, that's
shine any
good.
heat that's out there.
Yeah.
And so when you talk about love and you say, oh, you're reducing it to, and of course I've heard that, oh, you're reducing love to the strategy stuff. What's that got to do with love? We've been taught, and I have a heart collection. I have probably the biggest heart collection in the
Really?
world. So there's just hearts all around. I got
Oh,
boxes of
yeah.
hearts. My wife won't let me keep them around the house, but they're stored. But anyway, the heart is an interesting symbol for love, and it means in our kind of in our chest cavity, and that's a feeling. And I felt that feeling. It's elated when it goes right, and it burns and crushes us in our hearts when it goes wrong.
Wow.
But love doesn't exist in the heart, in my point of view. It exists in the mind because your mind, love is four things. And people don't know the definition of love. When people say, I love you, and if you ever ask that person that said, I love you, what do you mean by that? Watch how flabbergasted they are and at a loss of words because they're not going to have an answer. And so I
Interesting.
researched it. And this book here, The Art of Loving by Eric Fromm, it was at my mother's house in Shreveport, Louisiana. And I was thumbing through it, and Eric Fromm said, this is what love is. It's four things. It's knowledge, care, respect, and responsibility. He
Mm.
said, if you have those four, that's the evidence of love. If you don't, you don't have that. And so that's why love is in the mind. You don't know someone through your heart. You know someone with your mind. You recall, you have memory, you understand them. You care for someone. What do they, how do they need to be cared for? Which love language? That's your mind. You respect their brand. You don't try to change their brand. You let the Tiffany blue exist on your Nike stripe because that's respecting them, not trying to change them, but trying to partner
Ah,
with them. And the last part of love is the hardest, Carrie. It's responsibility. That means I'm responsible for this partnership with you equally. I'm not 50% responsible. I'm 100% responsible for this partnership. And you're
wow.
100% responsible for this partnership. If we think about love in those four, with those four elements, that's more powerful than anyone bringing any heat around. Oh, why are you trying to reduce love? I'm not trying to reduce love. I'm trying to articulate
Expand it. Yeah.
and expand it and let people go free within that framework.
Well, and I like what you said at the end of the day when you were talking to the Procter Gamble guy. You said that would you say love is winning? Winning the love?
My purpose is to show love winning.
Oh, that's good. That is good. Oh man, we talked pre-show here about the audio coming out because that is definitely how I digest books. That the audio is coming out.
Audio's coming out soon, so we're out
Yeah,
already with and we're getting great reviews. I mean, I
yeah, you are.
the reviews I think are around 4.7. I check them
Yeah,
periodically, which means every 30 minutes. And
yeah,
we're on Goodreads with some good reviews too. Carrie, you never know. Like when we were talking about this book, the biggest fear you have as a first-time author is, will people get it?
yeah,
Like, well, am I just doing this because I think it's interesting because I've been doing marketing for 30 years and studying love for 20?
yeah.
But the best thing to see it you kind of affirm that are
Yeah.
these reviews. And I was at my daughter's my youngest daughter Vanna's her lacrosse practice,
Okay.
and one of the moms picked up the book, and I told her about it. So she was one of the early readers, and she said, Vince, I'm halfway through it, I'm loving it. You have research behind this marketing that you're talking. The first qualitative feedback I ever got back.
That's
And as a
so good.
brand person, feedback is everything, right?
That's so good.
And that just really that just really kind of fuel the fire.
Well, I love this review here. I know we got 2 minutes left here, but this review, super powerful. I don't mind, by the way. I don't mind 1 stars. I don't mind 2 stars. People are going to give, you know, stuff. But Date Like a Brand is basically treating your love like your personal startup. And honestly, it makes so much sense. Dude, it's true, though. Oh, my
You know,
gosh.
it was funny. I told my daughter, said, Dad, how they've been tracking this and a part of the process. He said, how's your ratings coming? I said, oh,
Yeah.
we got up to 4.7. They looked so sad. I said, what's wrong? They said, on a scale of 10. I was like,
Ah,
no, no, it's a scale of 5. It's a scale of 5.
that's good.
So
That is
they feel
good.
better now.
Oh, I've been following you folks. Get them on Instagram, Date Like a Brand book. But is this the one where you go into the stores?
No, that's a little bit later. That's my kind of opening announcement.
I love it. I love it.
And
Where's
then
the where's
I
that
have
one?
one where I met this couple
Oh, I
in
see it at the
Hudson
bottom here.
Yards,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they were actually engaged. They were the sweetest couple. So they loved the principles in the book because they were living it out. And I told them that by being engaged, they were at the stage of the book I call the launch agreement. That's where you commit
Oh,
capital
yeah.
resources. You commit capital resources, the ring, you start thinking about housing. But then I said, good luck on your upcoming startership, because the wedding day is a startership, where it's the big celebration and the balloons on
Whoa.
launch day. But then I told him it doesn't stop there. You have to continue your passion, decision, and friendship throughout the
So
marriage.
good.
So,
It's so
um,
good.
you
That's
know,
so good. And here's that one too, folks. Listen, this book is all over the world right now, 40,000 channels around the world, including many types of brick and mortar books. New York is a hot spot as well. Vince, this book's going to go places because, it just solves a real problem. People tell me, I got a book in me. Should I write it? And I say, what problem are you solving? It is so clear. In fact, why don't we land with that? What do you hope the book does? If we're chatting from a year from
yeah.
now, what do you hope the book does? And what problem is this book solving?
The book is solving a problem that Stevie Wonder articulated in a song. I think it was 1978. He said, love is in need of love today. Love's in need of love today. Not that I can sing,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
that was the melody. And it's so true. Love is in need of a rebrand. It needs more awareness.
Love needs a
It needs more
rebrand.
trial.
Oh,
It needs to know, what are the benefits of love. They need to be articulated. What are the
yeah.
reasons to believe those benefits? Just like we would do with a brand, love needs a rebrand. And so I'm volunteering as a chief marketing officer of love, which I worked on IP protection on that too.
Oh, I
So
love it,
that's
man.
the problem that we're solving. Loneliness can be solved. Is that loneliness is high even though we're more connected, but we need more connection.
Yeah.
And so that's the problem that we're trying to solve. So I hope a year from now, this message reaches as many people as possible, because we're going to have better brands. We're going to have brands finding better partners
I
and
like
launching better relationships. And that's the purpose of it all.
I'll tell you what, man. I'm going to share your book in my Cedarville University classes tomorrow. I'm going to say dating tip of the year. You are
All
a
right.
brand. Date like a brand. This is so good. I love the chips. I love the PDF. I love the all the stuff, Vince. So I think you're going to go big places. You got obviously a lot of people who love you being on this, and thanks for trusting us as your publisher, my friend.
You all have helped be the guide along the way. Igniting Souls, it had me at the name of the company. So you keep doing what you're doing, and I'll be a part of the team.
All right. Thanks,
All
everybody.
right.
Get the book today. All right.
Follow on IG and go to the website and follow on Substack as well. The book is on
Date
Amazon. Check it out.
Amazon and the website, the great website where they get all the assessments, datelikeabrand.com.
Yes.
I don't even know how you got that. That's it, folks. Go get it. All right. We'll see you.
Take care. See you all.